Hey yo, it's 48 Sharks here. We're back on some bullshit. I'm about to do a fucking story for y'all. Because I obviously like talking and I obviously like bringing y'all to different fucking places and shit. So, I was telling my friends the other day about this one story again. And it's called a Shaggy Dog story. So, a Shaggy Dog story is essentially a story that is drawn the fuck out. Drawn out almost to the point to where like listening to the story really almost isn't worth hearing what the resolution is. It's a really defeating joke. Um, and let's go into the story. So okay, and again, the point of Shaggy Dog stories is, every detail is always going to be different. So, I would just, if you want to Google the official thing, I read it like 10 years, no, I read it like 20 years ago. Or like, yeah, like 2005, dude, on imstupid.com. And the joke was called, well, actually, no, I can't say that because it would make sense. So we'll just call the joke Monk, and then you'll be able to find it. So anyway, let me take a drink. So one night there is this person, this guy that's just driving down a road, and it's dark. It's like the middle of the night, and it's pouring down rain. It's kind of like, some country back roads or something, or like very rural. So there's like a lot of you know trees and forest on both sides of the road, and you can only kind of see what's in front of you with your headlights. So he's driving, and then all of a sudden, fucking his tire pops. Boom! He feels the jerk of the car, and he slowly pulls over up to the guardrail and puts on his emergency blinkers. He picks out his phone and he's trying to call emergency services, but there's no reception. He, gets out, starts getting soaking wet, tries to cover his phone and, tries to get service, cannot connect, but he does see a little bit of a light through the forest of where he parked reluctantly, or I guess thankfully. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. So he walks through those through the woods a little bit, getting like mud all up in his shoes, and but he finally gets to this place, and it's a monastery, like for monks. And it looks safe, like no, there's no horror movie vibes about it. It looks well maintained, and again, it wasn't too far off the road, so he crosses through the trees and the woods, and he comes up to the door, and hello, is anybody there? He kind of shouts out as he's knocking, and he can hear some footsteps shuffling up among the raindrops, like just still pounding down as he's soaking wet, and he ends up seeing somebody opening the door, and there's a monk, and the guy's like, "Oh my God, thank you, my tires popped, I have no extra spare, I tried calling a tow service, I have no service, do you guys have Wi-Fi here or something, or da 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 da." And so the monk pretty much replies, well, first of all, come in. Let us get you dry. Let us get you a change of clothes, and we'll see what we can do about your vehicle. So the monk escorts him through the monastery, and as they're walking through the monastery, he's looking around and seeing all the fine stone wall work, and the very intricate designs on the wooden doors. And the guy's like, "Yeah, so my tire popped," and pretty much just reaffirms the story. And the monk says that right now the storm is pretty intense, so they don't mind if he stays the night, But in the morning, they can go ahead and send somebody out and get help because, again, they have no Wi-Fi. It's a monastery, so just monks. But they'll send somebody out in the morning to get help for him. So the guy's like, okay, cool. I would really appreciate that. So as the monk is taking the guy to the room, they pass this one door where there's a golden light beneath it with this immaculate heavenly sound. And this heavenly sound is just so gorgeous, so gorgeous. It blows this guy's mind. And he asks the monk, he almost begs the monk, like, what is this? What is that? What instrument is that? Somebody singing? Is that an instrument? I've never heard this before. It sounds so beautiful. And the monk, just says, don't worry about that. I can't tell you. So let's continue forward to your room. They continue walking forward, and the guy, so curiously looks back, not wanting to offend the monks, just looking back, so curious at what that is. They finally get to the room. Okay, says the monk, this is your room. You can stay here for the night. And in the morning, we'll give you some food. And we'll have somebody go out and seek help for you and for your car. We'll get it towed. We'll bring it here, and we'll get it fixed, and you'll be on your way. So the guy gets changed, dries off, and he's now in his room getting ready for bed. It's silent because, again, the car broke down in the middle of the night. Now here it is, even later. So the entire monastery at this point is quiet, but he slightly hears the sound, the heavenly sounds coming from the door. So he gets up and he walks down the hallway, and he sees the door. He sees the light down the hallway from just shining beneath the underlining of the door, just lighting the entire hallway up. And he walks over to it, and the sound gets so much louder and so much stronger, just like it did the first time he walked near it. And he tries to turn the door, and it's locked. It's fucking locked. Tries to shake it a little bit without making too much noise. Nothing. So to no avail, disappointedly, somehow he manages to go to sleep. He wakes up the next morning, and his truck is there, it's repaired, and he's ready to go. The monk and the man meet, and the man thanks him, and the monk, pretty much explains that everything is taken care of, and don't worry about it, we'll cover the finances. This was an unfortunate situation for you. The man is like, I understand, but I mean, I will pay you if you could tell me what's in the room. And the monk says, I can't tell you. And so the guy is he's so adamant, like, I need to know what's in the room. Like, what, do you want me to, like, stay longer? I have to take a class? Like, can I just let me pay you? Can I pay you? Do you need more money? And the monk says, no, I can't tell you because you're not a monk. And so the guy is like, okay, so what will it take for me to become a monk? How will I know what's behind that door? So the monk replies, what you need to do is you need to count every blade of grass that there is on this planet. And you need to count every single grain of sand. And once you count that, come back to me and let me know. And I could tell you what's behind the door. I'll show you. So the guy kind of laughs and says, is that it? And the monk, with the most serious face, reassures the man, yes. That's it. So the man literally, for the next several decades, sets out and he counts every single piece of grass that there is in the world. And he counts every grain of sand that there is in the world. And he returns to this monastery when the monk is old and frail, on the edge of death, and says, hey, I finally counted them all. There's this many blades of grass. There's this many grains of sand. Can you please show me what's behind that door? So the old frail monk now, gets up and walks over down to the hallway, walks up to the door, puts the key in, turns the lock, and as the door opens and the light shines, That's the end of the story. I got no more story for you. And if you're wondering why, it's because, you're not a monk. That's the gag right there. That's the gag. I can't tell you you're not a monk. I can't tell you what's behind the door. You're not a monk. You would have to count all the blades of grass and all the grains of sand, and then I could show you what's behind the door. Then I could tell you, but you're not a monk. So yeah, I guess I guess I guess I might title this if because you're not a monk or something similar. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it as like monk Shaggy Dog. I don't know, or something. But I hope you enjoyed this. Actually, no, I hope you just feel defeated right now. Because you could do this this style of story with anybody. Anybody. Any style. Anything. And the punchline again is not worth it. You watch this video for 10 minutes. And did any of you realize this little fucker right here? Like, look at this creepy little shit, man. If you have noticed this at any point in the video and thought it was a little bit of creepy, because it's the shirt, it's my Nightmare Before Christmas shirt, just backwards. Anyway, if you notice that, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know how much you fucking hated this video, because I could only imagine how disappointing it was not to know what's behind the fucking door. I myself have not counted all the blades of grass and sand, so I don't know. Who fucking knows? But that dude knows, and I know his story.